So over the last month, my stocks and shares ISA has increased in value by £1,577 or 7 and a bit percent, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. Now, obviously my first reaction just looking at the numbers is sweet, awesome, amazing, but the other part of me looks at it and thinks, surely this cannot continue, and at some point those numbers that I'm seeing are going to be exactly the same, except they're going to be in red and it's going to be down. Because if my portfolio carries on growing at this rate every month, I'd be retired in not too long at all, and obviously that is not going to happen. But this month has been one of the strongest months I've ever had as an investor, and I think it's a really interesting reminder of how easy it is to feel like a genius when markets are going up. So in this video, I'll show you exactly what's happened inside my portfolio, what's driven those gains, why I'm actually trying to reduce risk despite everything looking really great right now, and why I think that the real test of my investing journey probably hasn't even happened yet. Let's start with some numbers then. So my stocks and shares ISA is currently worth £22,669. Over the last month, it increased by £1,577 as said, and that's a return of around 7.7% in a month. I also invested about £800 this month, and I'll show you what I bought with that shortly. The first thing that I wanted to acknowledge in this video and make really clear is that this is not normal, or at least I don't think that it is normal. I'm really no expert, and this should not be considered financial advice for yourself. You need to do your own research. I'm just showing you what I'm doing with my own real money and my own portfolio. And I know if I'd shown these numbers to somebody who perhaps never invested before, and maybe that's you watching this video right now, and if so, you probably think that this investing stuff is really easy and straightforward. You put some money in, the graph goes up, sometimes some people talk about it on the internet, you make money, happy days. The reality is though, however, that investing doesn't usually feel this easy. Markets move in cycles. Sometimes you get months like this, other times you get the complete opposite. And because I've only been investing for around 18 months, and I know that might feel like a long time to me, but in investment terms it is like a blink of an eye, I think it's really important to remember that most of my experience so far has been during a pretty favourable period for markets, with only a couple of small bumps in the road when President Trump decides to do what he does. And one other interesting thing that happened this month was what happened on my payday. So I work a normal 9 to 5 job, and as usual, I put some money into my Trading 2 stocks and shares ISA. All of it went into the FTSE All-World this month, so I bought £800 of FTSE All-World. I bought it at £139.26 per share, and at the time that felt expensive. The fund was sitting at or very close to an all-time high, and I think that's the feeling that every investor gets. You look at the chart and you see it at record levels, and you wonder whether you buying it right now at that point is silly and it's just about to drop off. But today, now I'm recording this video 1 week later, it's sitting at around £141, so a couple of percent higher than when I bought it. And of course, that doesn't mean that it will just keep going up. It could fall next week. I genuinely have no idea. But it is another reminder to me that something being at an all-time high doesn't automatically mean that it's about to crash. One of the biggest lessons that investing has taught me so far is that markets do spend a surprising amount of time making new highs. That's what growing businesses tend to do over long periods of time. And for me personally, with what I'm trying to achieve on this channel and in my investing, consistency is much more important than trying to be clever. I'm not trying to predict what happens next month or next year. I'm just trying to keep investing when I get paid, and that's my main focus rather than overthinking the detail. Let's have a look at what's been driving the growth in the portfolio then. So my biggest holding remains the Vanguard FTSE All-World, the accumulation fund. The current value is around £10,688, and it's now almost half of the entire portfolio. Overall, since I started buying that stock, it's up around £1,637 or 18% in total. And this is increasingly becoming the foundation of everything that I'm doing. It's diversified across around 6,500 companies around the whole world. And it's where the majority of my new money is going for the time being, and probably for the next few months at least. Next up is the Vanguard S&P 500, a similar vibe to the All-World, but just concentrated on the 500 biggest companies in the USA. The current value of my holding is £7,140. That's up about £1,340 overall, or a gain of about 23%, which again is a very strong performance. And together, those two index funds now make up nearly 80% of my portfolio overall, and that is very deliberate. If you've been watching this channel for the last few months, you'll know that over the last few months or so, I've been increasingly convinced that simplicity is probably going to win. And it's not very exciting, which doesn't make super engaging YouTube content, but I'm not trying to make YouTube content, I'm trying to invest for my future. It's not clever, but it does let me sleep at night as I'm not stressing about whether a decision I made was right or not, whether I was buying the right stock or not. I'm just putting my money into the market as a whole rather than any individual hedges. Now let's talk about the two holdings then that always do seem to grab people's attention, and they do grab mine in my own portfolio. So Google and Rolls-Royce. Now my Google stock, so Alphabet, is currently worth around £2,000 and it's up an absolutely massive 115%, which is ridiculous. That is completely potluck, fluke. There's no strategy behind it. To be completely honest, I bought Google stock because I like the YouTube platform. I'm a creator on this channel, and I do have another sort of sport and lifestyle channel as well. And I like YouTube. I pay for the subscription. I think it's good value. I think the platform has a future. That was it. I didn't buy it because I thought it was going to double. I bought it as a bit of an experiment, and I'm just then more invested in the platform other than my time, effort, energy in posting videos. Thought it was an interesting thing to do. And it's a similar story for Rolls-Royce. So the current value in my portfolio is around £2,000, up about 44%, which again is massive, but doesn't look massive compared to the Google increase. Again, completely potluck. The business is quite local to me in the UK, and a friend of mine owns some Rolls-Royce stock, so it just gives us something to talk about, and we both thought we'd have a little bit of a punt on it. But here's something that might sound strange. The better that these stocks perform, actually the less interested I become in putting more money into them, because as they grow, they become a larger percentage of my overall portfolio, and that just increases the concentration risk on those individual companies, which is what I'm trying to steer away from. So while these have been great investments so far, there's no doubt about that, I've actually been directing all of my new money into the index funds instead. I've not bought any Rolls-Royce or Google stock since 2025. That's not because I dislike the companies or I don't think they're going to perform well. It's because I want my portfolio to become more diversified over time, not less diversified. So as those individual stocks are rising, I need to put more money into the indexes to keep that balance about right. The goal with this portfolio is to build something sustainable over the next 25 years plus, not to have one big year of returns. Now I'm going to zoom out slightly. So year to date, so what are we now, nearly 6 months in, the portfolio is up about £2,200. That's a return of about 12.7%, which is all within my stocks and shares ISA, so completely tax-free. I don't think that's to be sniffed at all, and to me those numbers look fantastic and certainly outrunning any sort of savings account or anything like that. But they do also make me slightly uncomfortable, because the dangerous thing I'm finding about starting your investing journey during a strong market is that you can start believing that you're smarter than you actually are. Trust me. Now I am definitely under absolutely no illusion that I've somehow, I've not cracked the investing code after 18 months or something. I absolutely haven't. I've just simply been fortunate enough to start investing during a period where markets have generally done very well, and I've put quite a bit of money into it, and that's the truth. I think it's important to say that. There's so much great investment content on the YouTube platform, but unfortunately there's also a number of people who are trying to claim to be gurus and they're investment geniuses and they're going to sell you a course, and I'm absolutely not that. I'm just documenting what I'm doing, so I'm going to do my best to show you the good months and in turn the bad months, and hopefully me learning this sort of stuff just along the way. And this brings me to probably the biggest thing I've been thinking about recently. Am I really a long-term investor? Now I say I am, and that's what I describe this portfolio as. My plan is to invest for 20 plus years, but saying that you're a long-term investor and proving you're a long-term investor, I think are two very different things. It's very easy for me right now to be really motivated about investment because of where my portfolio is. It's made over £1,500 in a month. It's very easy to keep investing when everything is green. It's also very easy to believe in compounding when the graph is going from bottom left to top right. I think the real test comes when it drops by £1,500 in a month, or £3,000 or £5,000, and I just haven't experienced that yet, or not properly anyway. I've seen small amounts of volatility, as said, when certain people across the world say things and do things, like temporary declines, nothing more than a week or two. I haven't experienced the kind of market where people genuinely start questioning whether they should keep investing or not if you've had 2, 3, 4, 5 years of negative or no returns. And if that happens, I suspect that that will be the most important period of my investing journey, not these months where it's just going up and up and up. I think that's where I'm going to find out if I really believe in this long-term strategy or whether I just liked it because it was working at the time. But my commitment is to show you that along the way on this YouTube channel. So if you want to follow along the journey, please do hit that subscribe button down below. So the other positions in my portfolio are Legal & General and Procter & Gamble. Those two are forming part of a dividend experiment, which I'm going to talk more about next month, as that'll be 6 months since I bought those stocks. Then I've also got a really small realty income position, which I got as a free stock through posting videos on this channel, which I think is really cool, but I'm just not entirely sure what to do yet. And there's just been small movements with those. And I'm not going to spend any more time talking about those today because I want to get to that 6 month point with those dividend stocks before I do like a full review, and I'll do a full video about them. One final thing I guess I want to tease or just peel back the curtain on a bit before we finish this video. If I zoom out all the way on my portfolio chart, you might notice something interesting in that there's a pretty significant drop right at the beginning. And before you ask, yes, it's real. No, it's not a glitch. No, it's not Photoshop or anything else. And yes, there is a story behind that from a few years ago. There is no time on the x-axis, but I will fill that in a video to come because I think it probably deserves a video on its own. As I'm learning more and more, all of the successful people I see online seem to have had some sort of bumpy start to their journeys, and I guess I did too, so I'll cover that another day. But where does this portfolio update leave me today? Well, it leaves me with a portfolio worth £22,669. The lifetime gain of this portfolio is £4,679. I invested £800 of new money this month, and despite one of the strongest months I've had so far in my investing journey, my plan remains exactly the same, just to keep investing, keep buying, importantly keep learning and absorbing information where I can, and probably most importantly not doing anything stupid and ballsing this up, because it seems to be going quite well so far. So hopefully long may that continue, because while months like this are certainly really nice, I don't think that my wealth or my future life options are going to get built in a single month. They're going to get built through hundreds of hours and hundreds of months of fairly boring, repetitive, hopefully smart decisions over decades. That's the journey that I'm trying to document, and that's why this channel is called The Compounding Project. So thank you very much for watching. All the best with your investing journey, and I'll see you again very soon in the next one.